What's going on, folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's another segment of What Card Wednesday. Now stick with me on this video because by the end, I will either have you close, if not on the way, to sitting in the front of the plane for free 99, zipping halfway across the world to your dream vacation destination. Now, if zipping halfway across the world isn't necessarily your cup of tea, then let's say domestically. Does that sound like a plan? If so, give that little thumb icon a quick tap to help spread the word, and let's dive into it. In this segment of What Card Wednesday, we are going to be covering the Citi Premier card. Now, I will say across most of my videos that I've done, I really haven't talked much about Citi credit cards. Part of the reason is because when it comes to points earning credit cards, Chase and American Express have a very strong ecosystem, meaning Chase, you earn ultimate reward points, American Express, you earn membership reward points, and these can be transferred, they can be pooled, there's multiple cards that also can earn those points. Whereas with Citi, it's been a little bit more limited with their ThankYou program. Now, what's happened recently though, I think has been a bit of a revamp. They've added some partners and I'm really excited about this card that Citi launched. The Citi Premier is coming in with an all-time high of 80,000 points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. Now, those 80,000 points, what does that get you? On the low end, that's an estimated $1,200 of value. But, and here's the but, on the high end, well north of $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 of value. Here's why. This is a bit of a sidebar, but this is how you get the most value out of your credit card points. When you transfer them to an airline and then book flights with that airline's award chart. It's not taking the straight cashback value or buying gift cards or any of that other stuff. So what makes Chase and Amex valuable are obviously their offerings of flight partners. Well, what makes Citi now, I would say, a contender for that position is the fact that they just added American Airlines as a flight partner. And for those that might not be aware, American Airlines has some amazing sweet spots when it comes to redeeming for international premium cabins. That's business or first class flights. Here's what I mean by that. If you were to say, for example, fly from Boston to the Maldives, you might want to fly in Qatar Airways. It's a really incredible airline. And if you were to go ahead and fly in Qatar Airways, you might be tempted to use your points to book that flight. Totally no knock against that. But if you were to book that flight using Qatar Airways miles, it would cost you one way in business class 85,000 miles. Now, if you were to use Qatar Airways partner American Airlines, it would only cost you 70,000 American Airlines miles. In addition to that, because American Airlines and Qatar Airways are in the same alliance, you would technically booking for the same flight, except with Qatar, you pay 85,000, and with American, you pay 70,000. So that's a bit of a sidebar of why I think American Airlines is such a valuable frequent flyer program. And up until just about a week or two ago, you've never had the opportunity to actually transfer, say, credit card points to American Airlines. What you have had the offer to do is always apply for an American Airlines specific credit card, such as the Citi American Airlines credit cards or the Barclays American Airlines credit cards. But the drawback to those airline specific cards is you're only gonna get the most bang for your buck when you are making purchases on American Airlines. What's incredible about the Citi Premier card is you can take the earnings from here and transfer it to American Airlines, and the earnings are pretty sweet. Before we get into that though, let me go back to those 80,000 miles as a sign-up bonus. So what can that get you? Well, I mentioned earlier, to get the most value for the credit card points, you're going to want to transfer it to one of their flight partners. And Citi, honestly, they have a pretty good selection. One that I looked at very quickly, JetBlue. I love JetBlue. Based out of Northeast, they pretty much take me anywhere I would like to go. With JetBlue, you can pretty much fly 17,000 miles one way from San Francisco all the way to New York. So with 80,000 points, that's easily 5 or 6 one-way trips across the continental United States. So you can imagine if you weren't flying so far, you could get dozens of flights with this 80,000 points transferred to JetBlue. Another program I looked at is known as Flying Blue. Now, don't get that mixed up with JetBlue. Flying Blue is actually comprised of Air France and Royal Dutch KLM. They've come together and formed this, I guess, a bit of an alliance within an alliance. All that means for you is you can book flights with 2 carriers in the Flying Blue program. And what's amazing about the Flying Blue program, oftentimes they run discounts well north of 40 or 50%. So I was taking another look. If you want to get one way from North America to Europe, that can be as little as say 14 to 16,000 points one way. So the 80,000 points that you're gonna get as a sign-up bonus could easily get you to and from Europe back, maybe with a companion or your family. And of course, the sweet spot that I am so excited about in this card, American Airlines. By adding American Airlines, it is really stepping up Citi, I think, in the world of the credit card game. So here's what you can do with 80,000 points transferred to American Airlines. Easily, you can go ahead and take that and book from North America and get out to somewhere tropical, crystal clear waters, white sand beaches. How about the Maldives? If you want to go one way in business class, that would cost you 70,000 American Airlines miles. Now, you wouldn't be flying just any carrier. You would fly Qatar Airways, and Qatar Airways undoubtedly has the best business class configuration, bar none. The business class configuration Qatar Airways, if you book the middle seats, it's a lie flat bed in the sky, but it's an actual double bed that's conjoined. Huh? And if you've never done that, whoo, yeah, I can speak with experience. That's actually exactly how my girlfriend and I got out onto the Maldives. We paid about, I wanna say it was maybe $20 or $30 per person for taxes and fees, and it was about 70,000 miles to get from North America to the Maldives. Now, of course, maybe you might be traveling with another companion, and obviously one ticket at 70,000 miles might seem like a lot. You could go one way at 40,000 miles for economy ticket, so it wouldn't be so bad booking a one-way ticket out to the Maldives. Retail value of these business class tickets easily exceed $10,000, whereas you would only be paying taxes and fees anywhere from 50 to 100 bucks. So that's an example of the value that American Airlines gets. But because you can now transfer your Citi ThankYou Points to American Airlines, it makes the Citi Premier that much more valuable. And to add to the fact that you can now transfer points to American Airlines, the earnings rate is bananas. The earnings rate, you're gonna earn 3% cash back on restaurants, supermarkets, air travel and hotel, as well as gas stations. That to me is so incredible. That 3% cash back is going to be able to turbocharge your ability to earn points and of course, transfer them to a flight partner and redeem for maximum value. As far as benefits for this card goes, it's gonna come with a $100 hotel credit if you spend more than $500 on one stay at any given hotel in 1 year. And the card comes with a $95 annual fee. So if you do spend on hotels and if you spend over $500 at one booking, easily this is a free card for you. The final question is this card worth it? Well, this is gonna be a little bit of an it depends. And I say that because if you are significantly below 524, which is Chase's infamous rule, and you're considering a credit card, I would say this one isn't a bad one to pick up purely for the fact that you can now earn points to transfer to American Airlines. I know I'm pushing that heavy because that's really where I see the most value out of this Citi card. And if you're over 524, I would say this card's a no-brainer. Get this card, get the sign-up bonus, and transfer to American Airlines. And before you know it, you are knocking back caviar, sipping on champagne at 30,000 feet. And for people in between, I would still consider it. I mean, definitely going head to head with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. The Sapphire Preferred is gonna come out with a higher sign-up bonus, but again, it's that ability to transfer to American Airlines. And for individuals who are kind of in between where you're close to your 524 requirement being met, maybe hold off. Just because, you know, I certainly think there are more valuable stacks. And if you have a whole strategy on Chase or Amex, I would say look there. But for those of the people who I mentioned who are very low on 524 or who are far over it, the Citi Premier is going to be your friend. Another caution I'm gonna throw out there is for folks who are applying that have a low credit utilization, that actually might be a reason Citi would deny you. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but I was looking in forums and basically Citi was saying, hey, you already have credit available and you're not using it, we're not gonna give you the card, which I think is so dumb personally, because at the end of the day, you want to maintain a low credit utilization in order to boost your credit score. And so for Citi to say that folks are having too low of a credit utilization and denying them on those grounds, I think is absolutely bonkers to me. It really goes to show how desperate they are, that they want people who are obviously gonna carry a high balance so that they can make money off of them. do not carry a balance. If you want to increase your credit utilization for this card, sure, but make sure you're paying it in full at the end of that statement close. In addition, if you get denied for this card, check out this video I made on how to get around denials. Basically, you're gonna have to call in for reconsideration. Aside from that though, I still think this is a great card for those folks who are far under 524 and far over 524. My name is John, and this has been a great video. Let me know in the comment section below. Are you now considering the Citi Premier? And if you've applied, how has the approval been? Instant approval? Have you had to go through recon? I'd love to keep those data points in check because this is a card that I'm definitely looking forward to as I move forward. It's been a great What Card Wednesday, and I'll catch y'all next Wednesday. Peace!